are caring for the remains of our loved ones awaiting the resurrection. There are 44 Archdiocese of Chicago Catholic cemeteries willing to help you in your time of loss. Call 708-449-6100 or visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org. Catholic Cemeteries, serving the Catholic community since 1837.
Throughout our nation and our world, people of all faiths have recently been joining fervently in all kinds of prayer. They have found that coming together in prayer is a source of comfort and strength. In this spirit of unity, the Archdiocese of Chicago has introduced a call to prayer, a telephone line dedicated to prayer. If you would like to join with another person in prayer, call 312-741-3388. This line is staffed from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily with parishioners from across the Archdiocese of Chicago. These volunteers are here to listen to you, offer support, and pray with you. A call to prayer includes a 24-hour voicemail and email options as well. Experience this wonderful opportunity to join with people just like you who trust in the power of prayer. That phone number again is 312-741-3388. Let's pray together today.
You're listening to Catholic Chicago on WNDZ 750 AM. Every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Archdiocese of Chicago presents programming about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Marie Jochum.
And I'm Brigid Murphy.
Brigid, it feels like spring.
It does. It does.
So grateful. Last night I was taking a walk and it was like 6:30 and the sun was still out. And I just can't handle how grateful I am for that. We made it.
I hope nobody is having flooding issues, but
Yes.
less so today. But one of the other days I was walking and you could just hear everything melting.
Yes.
And it was like, oh.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Lots of good things are coming. Lots of good things ahead as more and more folks get vaccinated and we start to come out of this moment and head into springtime in so many, many, many ways. And speaking of what it's time to do, it's time to check in with our friends in Lake County. As our listeners know, we serve hundreds of thousands of people throughout Cook and Lake counties. And these two counties are distinct in size and structure and flavor. And so our programs and services are tailored in each county to meet client needs in the most effective ways. That's what we do at Catholic Charities. We meet people where they're at, and we do that even as we plan our programming. We also have extremely dedicated volunteers in Lake County, and one of them we're going to speak with today.
That's right. With us today are Thomas Powers, the new chairman of the Lake County Board of Advisors, and Kristen Flanagan, regional project manager in Lake County, to talk a little bit about what that work is like and what's happening in Lake County. Welcome, Tom and Kristen.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. We should say, Tom, you really have to deliver this morning because Marie was just saying Tom has a voice for radio. So
I guess that's better than having a face for radio.
That's
so
right.
I
That's a few of us at this end. We're gonna start with Kristen, but we'll get back to you, Tom, so you can have a drink of water, do whatever exercises
Get those vocal
you
cords
need to
ready
do.
to go.
All right. Thanks.
Kristen, for those who are less familiar, and tell us a little bit about some of the basics of Lake County. How many people live in Lake County, and what are kind of the geographic boundaries?
Sure. There are approximately 697,000 residents that live in Lake County. Catholic Charities services approximately 62,000 of these residents each year. And the county itself ranges is based from Highland Park to Barrington all the way up to the Wisconsin border.
It really is a huge swath. And, we here in the Archdiocese, right, we have both Cook and Lake County. But Lake County is very distinct. And like I said flavor. Maybe that wasn't the right word to use. But what are some of those things that are sort of the distinct characteristics of Lake County that Catholic Charities really thinks about while we plan programs and services and offerings to the community?
It is a large geographical area with the highest population density and people living in poverty or the working poor located in the eastern portion of the county, Zion, Waukegan, North Chicago. Public transportation for these eastern communities allows for easy access to our Waukegan-based services. As for Western Lake County, public transportation is more limited at best, and needs have been steadily growing. So we strategically expanded our reach beyond the Waukegan area into Western Lake County. Our Round Lake office, the Schreiber Center for Human Services, serves those Western communities. Catholic Charities is unique in Lake County in that we provide an array of services across a continuum of need. Food is the ever-present need, of course, and our services range from emergency services such as food and housing assistance through self-sufficiency. We serve all ages and stages of life, from maternity and parenting all the way through senior care.
It's so striking. Among all those services, obviously we have to ask everyone about the about the pandemic, and you mentioned food. And the Schreiber Center. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the center in a bit, but what have been the most urgent needs in terms of residents during the pandemic?
The basic needs, food, shelter, financial assistance for rent and utilities. Our emergency services team has done a fantastic job to address these needs and assist families with financial assistance to stabilize those housing needs.
Yeah, I think, we've so much of what we've heard from all of our programs and all of our partners are those basic human needs. And we also know that those, even as we start to come out of the pandemic, the economic effects of being out of work for so long and illness and all sorts of other things that we know are occurring to people, it really is that basic human need that underpins everything else. If you can't eat, you can't do a lot of other things. So we are really, really grateful for all you've done. We also know, that we don't do this alone, right? So we don't enter into any space as the sole provider. So can you share with us a little bit about the partnerships that you have in Lake County? I know some of them have been very long-standing and some are newer. So what are some of the unique collaborations that you have going on in Lake County?
One really great partnership that I'd like to mention is our African American Community Partnership Group. In Lake County, there is a growing population of African American and Latino populations. And the ever-present health disparity impacting these minority populations makes this partnership so important. Often we see a lack of trust in accessing healthcare, vaccination, and testing, and so Catholic Charities with this partnership helps bridge that gap as a trusted resource for the community. Recently, the African American Community Partnership Group provided PPE, that's personal protective equipment, that was distributed in our Waukegan and Round Lake food pantries. And additionally, they host Facebook Live sessions. In the recent past, they've focused on our immigration program and our emergency assistance program on their episodes. And we are slotted to be back as one of their guests to speak about our food assistance programs, like our community suppers and our food pantries.
Kristen, I urge our listeners to, if you'd like, so you know that you can listen to us on the radio, but we also know you can find us on YouTube, and you can search us and on Facebook as well. Thank you, Brian. He's making the sign for Facebook. We just played charades here. But you can go back and listen to our episode where we were able to interview the African American Community Partner Group and learn more about what they're doing. But we really want to highlight and say thank you for being creative and entering into some of those awesome spaces. So we're going to take a break here on The Voice of Charity, and when we return, we're going to talk more with Tom Powers and Kristen Flanagan.
Thank you.
Caring adults make all the difference in the lives of adolescents. Catholic Charities understands this, and our mentorship program provides a free opportunity for youth living in Lake County to spend time, virtually, with volunteers who genuinely care about them. This program is ideal for youths age 9 to 12 who may need support navigating the challenges of childhood and early adolescence. Our amazing volunteers serve as friends and role models who help youth recognize their strengths and empower them to reach their full potential. Catholic Charities conducts a thorough background check on every volunteer, and our program coordinator closely monitors and supports each relationship. Mentoring is a fun after-school program that is totally different from remote learning. Virtual group sessions help youth enjoy fun activities with their peers, too. We're connecting youth with great role models. Join us today. To learn more, call 312-937-3375. That's 312-937-3375.
The Word Made Clear is exactly what its name implies. It's an easy-to-understand explanation of the Word of God, the Gospel. Hello, I'm Father James McElhone, Director of Biblical Formation for the Archdiocese of Chicago. I'd like to invite you to take our free online Bible study program by going to thewordmadeclear.org. Our website offers an audio-based guide to the Gospels of Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Listen to my lectures and follow along with the handouts provided. There are even discussion guides. You can also explore the biblical roots of the Mass. And there are links to a wide variety of biblical sources that will benefit both teachers and students of the sacred scriptures. Just go to wordmadeclear.org to experience our free online Bible study program. Again, it's free at wordmadeclear.org. It's the Word of God. Enjoy.
Good morning and welcome back to The Voice of Charity. I'm Marie Jochum.
And I'm Brigid Murphy.
And we are here this morning talking with our partners in Lake County, Kristen Flanagan, the Regional Project Manager, and Tom Powers, our new Chairman of the Lake County Board of Advisors, who I did really build up your voice. I've seen Tom MC one of our events, and he does have a great voice, but he also has a great mind and a great heart, which is why we really need him at Catholic Charities. So, Tom, first off, congratulations on your new position, and thank you for your service to Catholic Charities. Can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been associated, and really what is that role as board chair?
Thanks, Marie. It's quite
See, he's got a great voice, everybody.
Yeah, try not to cringe. I've been associated with the board for a little over 2 years. I just moved into the role of board chair coming into this year. And, it's an interesting time to come in as the board chair. Everything is changed. And as you all well know, and so the pandemic impacts what board members are able to do, how they can do the things that they want to do. And so it can lead to a kind of a state of flux, or maybe a state of frustration. And my role, I think, this year has been more of one of trying to be a steward. I read a great book recently, and I'm going to paraphrase a quote from that. Hopefully I don't butcher it too bad, but they were interviewing a young leader, and they asked about how they go about addressing problems and where they get involved. And it was timely because I was reading this book right as I was getting ready to address our board for the first time. And basically, they said, I asked the questions, what is the need, or what are the needs? What is it that I can offer? What can we offer? And is there a fit? And so even though we're operating in the time of pandemic, which puts some hurdles maybe in front of us as we try to serve the community and carry on the mission of Catholic Charities, the need is as great or greater than ever before. So the needs are clear to identify. What we can offer in terms of our support, our time, our energy, our thoughts, our resources, our contacts, that's a good list. And when you compare the two, you find that there's much that we can do. And so my job with the board really during this time, the way I view my role is to say, we may not be able to do things exactly the way we could before, or do the things we wanted to do or had been doing. There is still much we can do. And if you can't do exactly what you want, do what you can. And there's much that we can do. And I feel like that my role right now is to keep bringing opportunities to the board to show where they can put their tremendous brains, their energy, and their resources.
That's fantastic. I do, pardon me, recall something we did early in the pandemic that reminds me of what you're saying in terms of being flexible and figuring out where we can play a role when we have to be socially distant or whatever it might be. And we had several of our board of advisors call frontline staff or email them and thank them for their work. And that meant the world. You know, people don't make a whole lot of money at Catholic Charities. And especially our frontline people who are dealing with so much, it meant the world to hear from a board member, like, we know you're out there, we support you, thank you for your work. And I think that's a good example of being a little more creative about what we might do. So I appreciate the lens you're using. Now, I know the role doesn't have a lot of benefits, Tom, but what are you liking most about the role of board chair, and what drew you to it, or what made you say yes when you were asked?
I was invited to a board meeting a few years ago by a colleague of mine who was a past board chair, a gentleman named Ray Swabak. And at the time, Debbie Lambert, who's our past chair, was leading the meeting. And you're in this room with a lot of very bright. I was first struck that these people were bright. They were engaged. They were asking pointed questions. They were actively engaged in the meeting and in the topics. You could tell this was a really high-grade group of people. But what struck me, and maybe I should have assumed this, but it dawned on me during the meeting, was that this was more than just good, smart people with a lot of energy. These were people of faith, and their faith, that the tenet, the underpinning of how they live their lives, calls them to acts of mercy and acts of love and acts of service. And so this isn't just something that they enjoy, although I'm sure that they do enjoy their work. This isn't something to pass the time. This is fundamental to the decisions they've made as to how they live their life. This is their faith, and their faith calls them to act. And we take that combination of bright, engaged people with big, big motors and tie it to the fact that they're acting on their faith. That's a pretty powerful combination, and I just wanted to be part of it.
I love that. I feel like that's the best endorsement ever. You know, and that holds for our board members. I think that also holds true for our volunteers as well. And we are going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to speak a little bit more with you, Tom, and we're going to put you on the spot because I know you have another passion project within Catholic Charities that we're going to want to hear more about.
We invite you to watch Catholic Chicago this weekend, featuring a conversation with Cardinal Blaise Cupich and video highlights from across the Archdiocese. Here's host Todd Williamson.
The effort to get vaccinated, why the Church is helping to spread the word. We'll go inside the classroom as a national study shows how Chicago's Catholic schools are keeping students on track during the pandemic. And too many people are going hungry. We'll visit a food pantry where Catholics are working to meet that need.
Watch Catholic Chicago Friday at 7 p.m. on Chicago Loop Cable, Channel 25, and Sunday afternoon at 3 on the Comcast Network, Channel 100.
Catholic Charities staff members work every day to end poverty and homelessness. We do this on a one-to-one basis with anyone who asks for help. We also work with organizations who study these issues across our city, state, and nation. The Wilson Sheehan Lab for Economic Opportunities, or LEO, at the University of Notre Dame is one of these research centers. Through our partnership with LEO, Catholic Charities has gained valuable insights into scientific evaluation methods that determine the most effective interventions to help people avoid poverty and homelessness. Along with our experience and compassion, trusted research is helping Catholic Charities offer hope and so much more to anyone in need. For more information, visit CatholicCharities.net.
Hello, I'm Cardinal Blaise Cupich. I got my COVID-19 vaccination, and you should too. It took just a few seconds and was painless. The Food and Drug Administration determined the new vaccines are safe and effective, and the Holy See, as well as the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, has concluded getting the COVID-19 vaccine is an act of love of our neighbor and part of our moral responsibility for the common good. We have lived with the pandemic for many months, and I know we're all getting tired of it. Vaccination is one of the most important ways you can protect your health and the lives of those you love and help bring the pandemic under control. When it is your turn, I urge you to be vaccinated. And remember to do your part by wearing a mask, washing your hands, and watching your distance. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Good morning and welcome back to the Voice of Charity. This is Marie Jochum
And Brigid Murphy.
and we are here today talking with Kristen Flanagan, the Regional Project Manager in Lake County, and Tom Powers, our new Chairman of the Lake County Board of Advisors. Tom, you shared with us a little bit about your role as chair and as board member, but you're also a volunteer and have volunteered with us in a few spaces. Would you share with our listeners, and we didn't prep you for this, but would you share with our listeners some of your volunteer work with us? I know being a board chair is volunteer work, but you've done other things as well with us.
Well, I got started early on working with the Mitch Siegel under the Veterans Employment Program and the employment readiness efforts, working with veterans to prepare them for job interviews, helping with resumes, kind of role-playing what those interviews will look like, meeting with veterans out at level. And I thoroughly enjoy that. I love working with Mitch, and working with the veterans for me is like a B12 shot. It really fills me with a lot of energy. So I loved it. I've gotten involved. I do some Meals on Wheels. I'm working now, making a weekly trip to the food bank to work in either intake or distribution. Senior suppers. I like to get involved. I think, Marie, you've probably heard me say this before. I encourage every board member to volunteer. I think volunteering makes you so much better as a board member. It keeps the mission right in front of you, and it keeps you connected. It's a great, keeps you grounded about what the real work is.
Tom, I mean, gee, everything that comes out of your mouth is just a gem.
I told you he's ready for radio.
Yeah. I think that's so true. And it's one of the greatest things about Catholic Charities, in my opinion, is how many of the board members and the volunteers, I mean, obviously the volunteers who help us with our work, but they are on the ground and they know the clients and they have their passion projects, and it's very, very special. We're one big community, and then we have lots of little communities, and it's really, really striking. And, you know, another area where we're very blessed is with financial support. And, I think we lost somebody, did we? Last year at this time, we announced that construction was underway on the John and Kathy Schreiber Center for Human Services in Lake County, which was mentioned earlier in the show. Due to the great generosity of John and Kathy Schreiber, Catholic Charities has the opportunity to help more residents in the western part of the county and offer services that provide greater stability. Why don't we go to Kristen first for an update on what's happening at the Schreiber Center?
Of course. The Schreiber Center is now open. It is located at 101 North Cedar Lake Road in Round Lake. A wide range of services are provided there, including senior services, Meals on Wheels, behavioral health services. However, due to the pandemic, we have limited access to the building, so we ask that people in need call our care coordinator to help navigate these resources. Her phone number is 312-618-4202. Other on-site services that we're offering at the Schreiber Center are the food pantry. It is twice weekly, and we're serving 30 to 50 households. Tom referenced, his volunteer opportunities as intake and distribution. This is where we've seen his friendly face helping out our mission. And then we also have weekly Wednesday evening suppers. They are to-go meals at this time, and we are serving on average 50 people weekly. They come, they receive their meals, we have a little chat, and then they head on their way. We do expect all of these numbers to grow as we continue to publicize our services.
Absolutely. And I had the I had the joy of being able to visit the Schreiber Center last week for the first time, and it is a beautiful building. And
it really is.
It's really lovely, and we're so grateful to the Schreibers for their generosity and also being able to serve in Western Lake County. In just the little bit of time we have left here, Kristen, what are, I know we're in this space of the pandemic, but what are some of the other projects on the horizon for Catholic Charities in Lake County?
Very excited about a few of them. I'll tell you, our regional director, who is also a new leader for our Lake County Catholic Charities, Lisa Rohde, she is looking to add a small clothing room to that Schreiber Center where donations can be sorted and displayed for clients to come and choose items for themselves and their families. We are also looking to expand our Diaper Depot program. Diaper Depot program.
That's a very hard one. There's a lot of D's.
And the sad part is I am, as project manager, I do the diaper depot myself, and I'll talk to my partners, and I get all tongue-tied.
So you're all good. You're also great on the radio, Kristen. Don't worry.
Thank you. So Catholic Charities currently works in tandem with the St. Vincent de Paul Society in Libertyville. They give us a 2,000 square foot warehouse space for me to store the diapers so that we can serve the partners within Lake County. We are looking to expand that program into Western Lake County, so we potentially have a secondary diaper depot location in that Schreiber Center, which is exciting.
Very exciting. And, we could talk with both of you for hours. I do want to urge any of our listeners who are interested in volunteering in Lake County to call 847-782-4416, 847-782-4116. There's so many great things happening. Thank you, Tom and Kristen, for being with us, for all of the work that you do with Catholic Charities in Lake County. We know Lake County is in great hands under your leadership. Please tune in next.
Thanks, Brigid.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Please tune in next week to The Voice of Charity, where we discuss a very important program in Chicago designed to provide at-risk youth with the tools they need to avoid gun violence. For now, this is Marie Jochum,
Brigid Murphy,
wishing you a safe, healthy, and happy week from everyone at Catholic Charities.
Join us every Monday through Friday at this time for Catholic Chicago. You can stream our programs live or listen to past programs by visiting our website, archchicago.org, and clicking on Radio TV. And please connect with Catholic Chicago on social media.